Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Honorable Swamiji, Honorable Farooq Abdullah Sahab, Honorable Mr. Sadhan Pandey, and all the dignitaries here, eminent speakers who have come on from all over the world, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of my father and our foundation, that all of you have made it convenient to come over, and every year that you have been coming. So thank you very much and a very warm welcome. I hope today and tomorrow will be 2 days of enlightenment and also a process of self-evolution for everyone. You know, I was just in Moscow. I just returned today morning, and I must share an experience with all of you. I met a gentleman day for yesterday, and it was a very interesting person. He was born sometimes in the early 60s in a communist regime, so therefore he grew up as an atheist. Then when perestroika got introduced in Russia in 91, that time the churches were again started and he became a Christian. Subsequent to that, there was some self-realization which came to him, and he became a Buddhist. So now, from an atheist, in the last 55 years of his life, from an atheist to a Christian to a Buddhist. So I just asked him that, you know, this evolution which has happened with you, that you have moved over from being an atheist to a Christian and then subsequently to a Buddhist, so where else are you going to go? And why are you doing this? Because you're the same body, you're the same soul. There's no change in your body. There's no change in your soul. Your soul is remaining as it is. Your body is just aging, nothing else. But only your attitude and your mind is changing. So your perspective to things are changing. And this has happened because of the process of self-evolution. And I think that this is one part which every religion, whether we call it through spirituality, through humanity, everyone teaches us the same thing. All the scriptures, whether it be the Bible, the Quran, the Vedas, everyone teaches us the same thing, that the process of self-evolution, self-realization is something that we need to go through. And that is an attitude, that is in our mind. That is not something which is the body and the soul is not disturbed with that. So therefore, whatever we are, and it reminds me also of a story of King Janak. I am sure all of you know about King Janak. I usually take the stories from King Janak because I think that it is very appropriate in today's world. King Janak was the father of Sita and father-in-law of Lord Rama. He was supposed to be an ascetic king. So therefore, people used to come, all the monks used to come to him. Many of the spiritual gurus, they used to send their children. Even it is said that sage Vyas, who was one of the rishis, he sent his son Sukdev because he said that you will get the lessons from King Janak, which I also cannot teach you. So when he comes to King Janak, and he thinks that, you know, what is King Janak going to teach me? He is a king. He is a person of the worldly means. So therefore, what can he teach me? I am a sage and I am the son of a rishi. So he had that ego in him. So when he comes to Janak, Janak says that, you know, he treats him well, and he says that, son, please go and rest, and tomorrow morning you come back. And then he tells him that, okay, you carry a pot of oil on your head, which is filled up to the brim, and tells him that you go through all the rooms of the palace and observe everything, and I want to see what are your observation powers. So Sukdev found it a very ridiculous proposition, but because his father had told him that you must accept King Janak as your guru, so you must go and learn the right things from him. So he does that. He spends the whole day. He comes back in the evening, and then King Janak asks him that what did he see? And very vividly, he explains him each and every part of each and every room of the palace that he visited. Then King Janak asked him that you still have the pot of oil on your head and which is not spilled. So how could you do that when you are observing everything? He said, because my mind was always there, but I was going around seeing all the richly things in the palace. So he said, we are also like that as human beings, we may be involved and engaged in so many things, but we have to keep our mind away from it. So this is the attachment and the detachment. So though he saw everything in the palace, he observed everything very vividly, he came and explained each and every part of the room, all the rooms to the king, but the oil was still in his head, on the pot, on top of his head. So therefore, what King Janak was trying to teach him was that you may be involved in all the earthly things, but your mind should not get involved in it. It should be devoted to what your purpose of this life is, and that is about self-realization. And that is what the self-realization King Janak also had, because he was also involved in a lot of rituals. And one day, when it is said that when he was worshipping Lord Shiva, so he had the realization and he started throwing flowers on himself, because he realized that God was in the center of everywhere, but he was a circumference of nowhere. So therefore he was there everywhere. So that is all about, I think, that the realization that each one of us have to have. It's our own journey. It's a self-realization, whether it be the Russian, which I met, he went through so many areas, so many disciplines in his life, or it was King Janak who taught his disciple that you can see everything, but don't get engaged in that. Your main goal is about self-realization. So I think that this is, and that's the reason my father has been organizing this spiritual conference on spirituality, power, and humanity, that each one of us can come, hear all the erudite speakers who are coming from various parts of the world and speak on various disciplines, their perspectives. But this end of the day, we have to go back, and it's our own self-realization. So I hope you all have a very, very enjoyable and a self-realization time for the next 2 days. Thank you very much for coming.